show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I don't know what's going on with all these allegations that's flying around, and at this point, it's looking like an annual thing among some of these guys within the entertainment industry, where either it's some sort of ritual or I don't know. But every time we turn around, another entertainer is getting hit with an R case, and there's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me with all the money and access to damn near whatever they want that they're out here just taking it. Like, yes, there's real victims in the world, as we do know, but a lot of times I feel these allegations are used against a lot of these entertainers for God knows what reason, because it's kind of not making sense. Either that or the word itself is being thrown around way too loosely, and it isn't the type of great we usually identify the great with. I don't know, I'm just trying to look at all angles because something here isn't adding up. Now, Shannon Sharpe is a 56-year-old man. He was in the NFL, he was a part of a very successful talk show, and this is the same man that preaches positivity within his own platform and also have other guests on there that speak about a wide variety of things as well. I can't see Shannon Sharpe at his age willing to risk it all to R someone, knowing if it was that serious, he could just go out there and pay for it. Right? He even spoke about that on his platform. I forgot which guest he had, but he spoke about it not being that serious, and if it was, he would just go out and pay. Like, let's say he can't get none off for who he is, which I doubt, but by far the least he would be able to do is use his money to pay for some if it's that serious, where he wouldn't have to take it and risk not only his freedom, but his career and image as a whole. Now, as y'all know, y'all love to call us a conspiracy theorist, and at this point, I'm cool with it. So with that being said, let's bring up a few things we know leading up to where we are now. Now, it just so happens that Shannon Sharpe himself have a big platform that speaks on topics that aren't too popular amongst the average civilian. We've seen it with Cat Williams most notably, but also Nick Cannon and Damon Wayans. They've all said some things that go against what we believe to be true, but if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you just have to watch their interviews for yourself. Now, another coincidence I found kind of interesting is that this lawsuit couldn't have come at a better time, because it was just a couple days ago that the world will find out that Shannon Sharpe is being offered a podcast deal rumored to be over $100 million. Oh yeah, we call that the Gillian Wallow deal. But yeah, it hasn't been confirmed 100%, but it has been talks that he may be signing a deal worth that much, and how ironic that shortly after we hear that he allegedly R-ed someone and she's suing for $50 million, which just so happens to be half of that. Right? Now, like I told y'all before, I don't know what's going on, but I do know when something smells fishy, and this whole lawsuit here just stinks. And it's also been noted that according to TMZ, Tony Busby is the attorney that's representing the unidentified Jane Doe, who wishes to remain anonymous within the paperwork. Now, for y'all that don't know who Tony Busby is, this is the same attorney who is representing a girl by the name of Thalia Graves, who claimed Diddy and her bodyguard Big Joe R-ed her, and even held a conference about it until it was proven that she lied about it the whole time. Big Joe, aka Joe Sherman, who was called Diddy's security, says he never did security for Diddy, and in fact, he had text messages of Thalia trying to coerce him into lying to get some money out of Diddy along with her. He had other evidence that she was lying, but that was the one that basically put the nail in the coffin, and since then we haven't heard nothing from her. Tony Busby is also the same guy that claimed he had over 100 women who came forward saying they were victims of Diddy's, and he wished to keep them anonymous. To this day, we still haven't seen or heard from any of them women claiming that they came forward, and in fact, yes, it's more, because he's the same guy that tried representing another female he wished to keep anonymous, who claimed Jay-Z essayed her at a Diddy party along with Diddy. To this day, nobody knows who the female is, and that case was over as soon as it started, and a private investigator hired by Jay-Z says the girl admitted that Jay-Z didn't do anything to her, and Busby is the one that forced her to make those allegations against Jay. However, she still claims that Diddy did in fact do it though, allegedly. Now Jay would turn around and then file his own lawsuit against Busby for extortion and malicious prosecution. Now with a track record like that, believing Tony Busby or any of his clients is pretty hard. Hell, at this point, we don't even know if they truly exist or not. So with all that being said, let's get into what TMZ had to say about the lawsuit filed against Shannon for $50 million. But before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. According to TMZ, it'll say, quote, Shannon Sharpe had just been sued for allegedly R-ing a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in this case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada, after she says Sharpe brutally actually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. See what they try to do there? She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake breasts if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, attorney Busby wrote in Doe's suit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, the docs state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing unalive you. The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him R-ing her. Doe claimed in her suit the first instance happened in October of 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January of 2025. Doe claims Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead, violently actually assaulted her once more. She's suing for over $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf, I look forward to pressing this case in court. We've reached out to Sharpe for comment in the case, but so far, no word back yet. Now, Tony Busby would take to his Instagram himself with a statement as he would caption a post saying, quote, late last night, the Busby law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges she was brutally actually assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions, the last incident occurring in January 2025. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap Jane Doe. The case seeks $50 million in damages. The case is on file in Department 11, Clark County State Court, Nevada, the county where the alleged conduct occurred. The egregious and concerning facts of the case are set forth in detail in the public filing. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. Now, some people are saying that this is the same girl that was on camera, if y'all know, during that live where Shannon Sharpe made a mistake, right? Quote unquote, made a mistake and had it playing while he was getting his business. They're saying that that's the same girl. And if that's the same girl that was in that video, then I don't see her being hard. She seemed like it was very consensual, and I don't know. Like I said, it may be the girl, maybe not, but a lot of people on social media is saying that that is the same girl that filed the lawsuit. Now, like I said before, take all of this with a grain of salt, because like I told y'all, when it comes to Busby and his clients, we don't know what to believe these days. And it's crazy because you know what I realize as we cover these type of cases? Fellas, y'all gotta be careful. Because if you want to be technical, do you know how much lawsuits can be filed due to the things that we do on everyday terms? Literally every day. Like when you hear things such as verbal abuse or expecting her to be at the house on his schedule whenever he called. Man, I see that all the time from men and women. So I guess now, fellas, if you out and you don't tell your girl and she calling you, texting, blowing your phone up and telling you to come home, guess what? That's a lawsuit. Because she's being controlling and wanting you to be at her house on her schedule. Right? But I'm all jokes aside, man. There's a lot of things within this lawsuit file that just sounds like a money grab, to be honest. I find it ironic how in the lawsuit she stated that one day he threatened to unalive her and she felt threatened because a firearm was nearby, but yet she moved to Nevada with him right after. How scared were you? And like I said before, there's a lot of real victims out there, I think, which is why I hate seeing things like this, because I feel a lot of them just use this as a tool to get what they want within the court of law. But I don't know about this one, man. Even one user under our post on IG would say, quote, "Let's be honest, that man was allowing people to come on his podcast and speak their truth, then boom, this happened." Shaking my head. They definitely targeted him. Hashtag prayers for him. Like I said, unfortunately, these days the allegations alone does just as much damage as a conviction of it. Because these days people see you as guilty until proven innocent instead of the other way around. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.